I got a lot to say about this. Virginia Tech football player accused of killing Tinder acquaintance after learning they were born male. Suspect claims he punched and stomped victim after their sexual encounter, leaving them bubbling and gurgling. Well, a former Virginia Tech football player faces a second-degree murder charges for allegedly killing a sexual partner he met on a dating app, Tinder, after learning the person had been born male. Ishman David Itut, 18, of Virginia Beach, told police he had matched with someone named Angie on Tinder on April 10th. He visited the victim's apartment in Blacksburg, Virginia, for oral sex. He returned to the apartment May 31st to engage in sex, only to discover that Angie was Jerry Paul Smith, a 40-year-old restaurant worker whose family identified him as an out gay man. Boy. See, us men cannot be playing games and being thirsty for sex. Okay? And, you'll get jammed up like this. I am not saying this trans dude was innocent. No, Atut is the victim. I'm being real. Okay. Atut told police he became angry and punched Smith 5 times in the face, continued to punch and stomp on his face and body, even after Smith fell to the ground. Atut claimed he heard Smith bubbling and gurgling as he left the apartment, but never called police. Police later discovered Smith's body inside the apartment on June 1st. According to the officer, all the bones in Smith's face were broken and he had several cranial fractures. Smith's teeth was also missing. The medical examiner's office said the cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head, reports the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Appearing in Montgomery County General District Court on Wednesday, Atut was released to his parents' custody on a $75,000 bond. Okay. And placed under house arrest and electronic monitoring, according to a release from the Commonwealth's attorney, Mary Petit. Atut is also ordered to stay away from Montgomery County except to consult with his attorney or attend court hearings. Assistant Commonwealth Attorney Jason Morgan had argued against bail, outlining the new details about the case based on Atut's statements to the police, but Duncan said he saw no evidence that Atut would pose a danger to the community if released on bail. Atut is next scheduled to appear in court on June 23rd. Atut previously enrolled at Virginia Tech at mid-year and attended spring camp with the football team. He has been suspended as it's practice with any student charged in a felony arrest. His defense lawyer, James Turk, argued in court that there were extenuating circumstances that led to the altercation between his client and Smith, claiming Smith had solicited an 18-year-old for sex and that Atut did not know Smith was a man during their first sexual encounter. A lot of these transformers like to play games with straight men. They like to hunt for straight men and think it's funny that they trick men into having sex with them. Okay. Like Sydney Starr, who admitted on ATL Baddies that she would trick men into sleeping with him. Okay. And then when she was trying to trick a dude, a guy walked by and recognized it's a he, Sydney Starr's a man, and said, that's a dude, right? And Sydney Starr's like, oh my God, I thought I was going to die that night. Like she was a victim. Okay. Like he's a he. It's a dude it's a chick with a dick. Okay. And, these individuals are trying to lobby. And what's the thing is also, they don't feel like they should have to tell a man that, you know what, I'm trans. They don't feel they have to tell that. You can look up the information yourself. They do not feel they have to disclose that information. But then but when a straight man finds that he's been deceived and he wants to beat their ass, or he kills one of them, he's a victim all of a sudden. No, you're not a victim. I'm not saying what happened was acceptable, but this was more than someone just showing up to an apartment and punching someone, Turk said. Nobody deserves to die, but I don't mind saying, don't pretend you're something that you are not. Don't target or lure anyone that under that perception. That's just wrong, Turk said after the hearing, according to the Times Dispatch. Those comments sparked outrage among Virginia's LGBTQ community and raised questions on whether Etude would be able to use the discovery of Smith's orientation as justification for his violent reaction. Of course, they would get mad. Of course, they would get mad because they want the right to do whatever the hell they want without impunity. Just like, when Sydney Starr just basically admitted she raped a man. And nothing happened. That's what they want. A lot of you think these people are your friends. They're not. They want control, and they do not want anybody. They don't want, anybody telling them what to do. I remember I was on a live stream, and a woman was talking about how she had a trans woman friend, and her trans woman friend was trying to pick up straight men, and she had to hold her friend back to keep her from doing that, and check that person. What you're doing is wrong. They don't care. They feel, I've said it before, they don't feel like they have to they don't have to tell you their true or identity. In April, Governor Ralph Northam, Democrat, signed a bill into law that bans the use of gay panic or trans panic defenses to argue or for a reduced charge or sentence due to shock or fear at learning a person's sexual orientation or gender identity. That bill takes effect on July 1st, but it remains unclear whether the new law will apply to Etude's case since Smith was killed before the law took effect. Regardless of the victim's gender identity, the comments by Etude's attorney demonstrate the defense's intends to use transness as an issue in this case. Samantha Rosenthal, an associate professor of history at Roanoke College and co-defender of the Southwest Virginia LGBT and History Project, told Times Dispatch in an email response to Turk's comments. There is unfortunately a long history of framing transgender people as inherently deceptive or untruthful about their identities. But it's true. You are deceptive and untruthful about your identities. This is true. Some of you are even lobbying on Capitol Hill to have your birth records banned. So you could go around and tell people that you're really a female when you're not. Stop. It is true. Cut the crap. Stop the cap. But the reality is that trans people often conceal parts of themselves, especially to avoid the violence, harassment, and discrimination that is often directed at us. No, you hide that so you could get away with tricking people. I knew a woman that told me how she was deceived by a trans man. A person that was born a woman but got surgically altered to look like a man. She flipped out and beat that person's behind. They really fighting so straight men cannot defend themselves. They're really fighting hard to get to be able to do whatever the hell they want to do without impunity. But the reality is that trans people often conceal parts of themselves, which is, to avoid the violence and harassment and discrimination that is often directed at us. Rosenthal continued, as this case unfolds, I hope that people will realize that transgender men, women, and non-binary people are on Tinder and have the right to be there, and that presenting oneself as any gender online is not the same as catfishing. Yes, it is. Trans people do not owe anyone disclosure about their upbringing, their anatomy, or their past. Do you see what I just said? Do you see what I just said? Do you see what I just said? They don't feel they have the right to disclose about their identity. And you're supposed to just take it as a straight man. You're supposed to take this as a straight man. Just like Sydney Starr was going around tricking for years, and she ruined a person's career. She ruined Chingy's career saying that she slept with him when he did not. Tell you, man. I'm telling you, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. This is crazy. I hope Etude gets the best lawyers he can, because obviously what's said here is that, I could do whatever I want as trans. I don't have to tell you anything about my past or if I was born a man or not, but I could go around and deceive men, hunt heterosexual men. That's what it's about. Okay. I mean, the thing is like, if you just disclose your gender, hey, you're trans. Hey, I'm not a girl. I'm really trans. Then, there's no problem there. That's an excuse. It's an excuse. That's what it is. And they're trying to get into the law. They're trying to manipulate the law where they could get away with doing this stuff. Okay, because they know, why they do that? They're saying that because they know if they said, "Oh, I'm trans, I'm a trans woman, or I'm a trans man," the straight man is gonna this not gonna be with you anymore. He's not even be with you. He's not gonna entertain any interest because he's heterosexual. He wants real women. Okay. And this is just messed up. It is. Man, this is just sick. This is just sick. And they think this is okay. They think this is okay. And they want to manipulate the law to make sure they can get away with not disclosing their natural birth identity. This is like some sort of cultural jihad. Okay? Into the law that you could control and then change your environment. It's no better than, the cultural jihad of some Muslims who are strictly that want to dominate non-Muslims through using the law of that non-Muslim's land. And it's crazy. It is. It's insane. Okay? It's sick, it's twisted, and it's insane. Let me show you something here. Let me real quick. This is what they believe. This is what they are trying to pull. Just read an article on this, in the search engine. 2013 in the UK, it's illegal for trans to not disclose their gender, because that would make sense, right? Because if you're able to disclose it, the person that's talking to you that's really straight and doesn't want anything to do with the same gender will just turn their interest to the opposite sex and not, deal with the trans. But you see, that's what the thing is about. This is about an agenda, okay? And these people are going to get mad, but this is a mental illness. This is what it is. It's a mental illness. That's why these people can't accept when somebody rejects them. They can't just, trans women can't just go and date other trans people. No, they have to go and try to blend in with heterosexuals and then try to get a heterosexual. Because in their mind, they think they're a woman when they are not, or they think they're a man when they are not. It's a mental illness. Okay. Okay, here we are. What does transgender mean? Trans person's gender identity is not the same as the sex on their original birth certificate. As babies, our sex is recorded as male and female based on physical characteristics. There are some born with chromosome or other physical differences that can make this a complex judgment. They may be referred to as intersex. No, they're not. No. Male, female. Gender is based on the behavior, expectations, and outward presentation, typically considered to correspond to someone's sex. Gender identity is based on self-perception, how we see and describe ourselves, and how we present to the world. For example, someone whose sex is female might identify as male or vice versa. Oh boy, see, I don't even know about even reading this article. I really don't. I mean, the fact of the matter is, you know what? I'm not even going to read this. I'm just not. It just seems like a bunch of word salad. That's all I got to say. I'm sorry. I don't have any sympathy for a guy who was was deceiving a toot. I don't. This has gone on far long enough, and it has to stop. It has to stop. Like I said, I hope the toot gets the best lawyers he can. All right. Tell me what you think in the comments. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Later.